Hi guys, in this video we are going to talk about the difference between a healthy mindset and a toxic mindset. We're going to look at the value of having a healthy mindset and also what to do to transform a toxic one to be healthier. So let's get straight into it. You may have heard the terms fixed and growth mindset. So this is kind of like the healthy and healthy, right? However, growth is generally a healthy mindset because we're looking for learning, personal development, growth in our lives, improved relationships, all sorts of things in a positive manner. However, a fixed mindset doesn't mean to say it's completely toxic, okay? A fixed mindset is kind of like you're not moving forwards. Now, the reason I say it's not completely toxic is because a toxic mindset is held on by childhood experiences, negative beliefs, and old patterns, maybe circumstances from the past. So it is holding on to something. So fix can be you're just not moving forwards and changing where you are. Okay, so it can't be completely toxic. So there is a little toxicity in there, but it doesn't mean to say it's completely toxic. Okay, so let's not bracket the two completely together. But when we're talking about toxic, we're talking about past traumas as well. Okay, now what happens is we have a past bad experience and then we build on it. Okay, so it may be something that happened as a child, and this is why it's very common to have childhood trauma, because generally speaking it could be something so small, but because we're children and we don't really process it fully, then we do things as we grow and we're building on this. So it's basically like building blocks. Okay, so they basically give it more and more evidence into why this belief is true. So let me give you an experience of mine that I had. Okay, now when I was about 8 years old, I obviously was in class and we were about to make some bags. So sewing, all that stuff I'm not really very good at. Okay, I'm not the creative one. My sister is, not me. Now we sat on the mat about to choose the color fabric, and I want to make a blue one. Okay, simple, nothing major, right? The teacher went, I want doesn't get. Okay, what she then made me do was wait till the end of the class. So I picked last. And then, of course, when I made it, obviously it all went wrong. She wouldn't let me throw it in the bin. I had to take it home, even though it was kind of like not even in one piece properly. And of course, it was a completely bad experience. But of course, what that does taught me I want doesn't get. If I don't want to do something, I have to do it. Okay, so there's a level of discipline with this, but at the same time, it's that desire to dream and grow. All right, it meant that I stopped being willing when I was particularly as a teenager to sort of believe that I could do something. Okay, so although I would jump in and do things firsthand, it was a case of when things started to go wrong, I went, okay, well that's because it's not going to be, and I would drop out very quickly. Okay, now this is the sort of thing that happens. Okay, it can be something so small, something from an experience or something that somebody has told us where they've said something that their belief, or they're trying to teach us something, but because of the way it's come across, that it's actually created a sort of a negative belief. Okay, now with this teacher, I didn't get on well with her. My sister did. She's arty, creative, and all this. I'm the sporty one, very uncreative. Like I draw stickmen, right? That's my level of art. Not going to lie. But of course, I already clashed with this teacher, had this bad experience. So, of course, I hated going to school when I had her. And of course, all I remember with being with her was this bad experience. Okay, I haven't got a positive, I don't remember much about her classes at all, except this one class. Okay, that's how strong this is. Bear in mind, this is over 30 years ago. That's how strong it can be. Now, this is the sort of toxic thought pattern that we have because this is what forms our beliefs and our experiences. And of course, this toxic mindset. So the belief that we're not good enough. Maybe it's I'm always an outsider. I'm not creative enough. I'm too fat. I'm not pretty enough. I'm too short. Okay. These things are a negative thought pattern. Okay. It's like I said, it's a toxic mindset. It's built up on us from something that's happened. Okay, so what's the benefits of having a healthy mindset in comparison? Because surely you can just ignore that, all right? Because generally speaking, if someone tells you to do something, you can generally question, okay? Now, the difference is a healthy mindset chooses not to sit with that, because as soon as we sit with a negative belief and a toxic mindset, then we hold fear, we turn down opportunities, we miss chances. Okay, maybe we become scared of being vulnerable. Okay. It can affect relationships, how we communicate. We cannot go for things. Okay. So maybe not push your comfort zone as much because it's too hard, or we don't think we can, right? You know that if I push it that far, oh, I've told not to want it. Okay, that's fine. I'm not going to get it, right? So we kind of accept ourselves into a limited platform. Okay. So if we have a healthy mindset, it's that kind of, I can do this, right? It's that sort of fearless sort of strength, but it's also the confidence, knowing being when able to make a judgment. Okay. So I said that judgment call, when to be vulnerable, when to be strong, when to be forwards, when to hold back, okay, or when to go for something. So when we're in this healthy mindset, we're willing to fall, we're willing to go for things because it doesn't scare us as much. And if something doesn't go right, yeah, it's upsetting. You know, you can't have a healthy mindset and not get disappointed, not feel hurt, not feel pain, all this sort of thing. But the way you handle it is so much different. You will learn from that process. Okay. I cannot stress that enough. You will learn from that process. But we want healthy. Okay. So how do we transform it from the toxic into the healthy? Okay. I'm going to give you a great exercise here, because one thing that we all know is our thought process is our belief system. It's the story that we have that we tell ourselves. Okay. Now, if you want to change your story, change your beliefs. So if you have these limiting beliefs, let's break them down. Okay. I want you to get a pen and paper. And on that paper, I want you to write down your limiting beliefs. Whether it is, one doesn't get, or I am not creative, or I'm not tall enough, whatever it is. Okay. Maybe it's I'm a bad driver. Okay. Whatever is your limiting belief, pick one. Okay. Because we're going to break it down. So pick one to begin with. Okay. You can do this for all of them, but just pick one to start with. Under that, I want you to give it 3 bits of evidence. So 3 reasons why it exists. So we take the obvious one of I'm a bad driver. Okay. Many of us has told ourselves this, we're a bad driver at some point. Okay. Give it the 3 bits of evidence. I failed my driving test 3 times. I got a speeding ticket at some point, or whichever, you know, I hit the curb last week. Okay. Whatever evidence that springs to mind that reinforces that belief. Okay. So it's the building blocks. Okay. What's making it stronger? Once you've got this limited belief, the 3 experiences, we're breaking it down. We're going to question those. Okay. So if it is that same example, I'm a bad driver, speeding ticket, clipped the curb last week, all women are bad drivers, failed my driving test 3 times, whatever they are. How many times have I clipped the curb? How many times have I got a speeding ticket? Was there a change in speed limit? Was there a mobile camera? Question these, okay? Remember, when we start to question things, we start to learn and grow, okay? So at the minute, we're taking this belief system as being fact, okay? What makes it fact? Okay, let's ask those questions. Ask why these things are there. Try and get at least 3 questions for each bit of evidence. Okay, so as you can see how it's breaking down, because now what we're going to do, we're going to replace that belief, okay? So if it is that I'm a bad driver, I'm an experienced driver. Okay. You don't have to suddenly go, I'm a great driver. Okay. It's got to be a believable belief. It's got to be something that you can tell yourself that you can believe. Okay. If you're going to tell yourself, I'm a great driver, and you're sitting there going, yeah, but you're not, it's not going to work. Okay. Give yourself a new belief that can replace this old toxic one, but the one that you can believe in. Okay. And we're going to do exactly the same process again. So as we did with the toxic one, write down this new belief, write down 3 bits of evidence to support it. Okay. So you're supporting it. If you can get more, the more you put on to support it, the stronger it will be. Okay. Now, then what do you do? Okay. Remember I said affirmations before I went into this exercise? When we look at affirmations are what change our beliefs. Okay, so stories we tell ourselves. You've just written your own new belief that actually is stronger than anything else I could have told you for your limiting belief. Okay, because you've made it work for you. Okay, it's personal. Remember, there is no normal. It is always a personal journey. So there's no point me saying, hey, use this affirmation for your limiting belief because it's going to work every time. I don't know your story. Yeah. So, let's change your story and let's make it so it works for you. Yeah. So, I encourage you, take the time, be open, write on a piece of paper. Don't show anyone if you don't want to. And then just keep that new belief. So, every time then you find yourself telling yourself this old belief, catch yourself and go, no, I'm an experienced driver. No, I does get, or I do get what I want. That makes better English. Or I am a great cook, or whatever it is. Okay, you've now got a new affirmation that you can say to yourself and reprogram your mind. When you start to reprogram your mind, you start to let go of the toxic. When we start to let go of the toxic, our mind becomes healthier, happier, stronger, and of course, allows us to grow. So hopefully, guys, you have found this interesting. Let me know how you get on with that exercise. If you've got any thoughts and questions, maybe anything else you'd like to know, drop them below in the comments. And of course, I will come back to you.